Hi, this evening I'm creating in my Hobonichi Cousin. Mousy is here passing through and creating with me this evening. I had started working on a little page here in my creative journal. So I've shared this in the past that my Hobonichi Cousin for 2022, keep it moving, is really my creative journal to do anything I would like in there. So I will share with you kind of what I have so far. I shared that last week in a past video of my first week. So I'll just kind of recap. But tonight I had started writing drawing. So I wanted to show you guys that a lot of times, because I don't want to, sometimes certain books and things, I'll cut things out from it. And sometimes little books that I don't want to cut from. But this is in here. Well, this little picture's in here. I should have marked the little page. Oh, there he is. Okay. I just kind of sat that on there and traced over him. And I thought he'd be perfect. It sort of inspired me to write about, which has just like been coming to me more and more and more, which is how our diet consists of so much more than what we eat, but the things we speak and hear and watch and read and so on. So I just kind of want to note that and document that here. I had already done this, but I didn't come back and write. This was today, Monday, January 17th. My little entry, and every day it's something different, so I'll reflect back and share that with you. And it's just a little spot to give me a chance to each day create. And if I don't happen to that day, that's fine. I can always go back and use that space for something else. But up here in my index, I have a little location. So if there's something I would like to be able to find, instead of flipping through all the pages, I can go back to know, like, okay, on January 5th, I have my Nintendo Switch game lists. Or where was my garden layout again? So I can look back on January 10th and 11th was my garden layout that I sketched out. So you could mark all these dates, but at quick glance, I just wanted certain ones to be able to find easily. So that's how I'm gonna utilize my month at a glances. And book list, tea websites, stuff like that that I'm gonna want to not have to dig around and look for. And then we'll see, moving forward, I decided to use my monthly for my garden. So I think I'm gonna start that here in February. I decorated my little February last night. Did I share? I probably didn't. I just get started and jump right in. I'm Tammy of A Peach Life, and thank you for joining me this evening, or whenever it is you are joining me. And I'm gonna get started in my little booklet here, and I'll show you some more pages once I finish that. We're listening to Disney guitar. It's the Calm and Tranquil instrumental. And if you would like to create along with me, or just relax and enjoy. I also got this little organizer, and I decided to take my colored pencils out of my little zip pouch that I had them in. I do like having them in that little zip pouch because it's an easy grab and go, but I actually don't take them on the go as much as I thought I did or would. And I like having them all mixed in here because although some colors may be the same or similar, it's quite nice to have a little mixture of different things. These little cuties here that turn. I got those at Disney World. These are Hello Kitty ones that I just got at a little bookstore. Little owls, I've had these forever. And just some regular Crayola nice colored pencils. Okay, so I'm gonna put that over here and just get started with you. So after I finish coloring this, I'm just going to write in some of those things that I was sharing. You know, along the way through the years, my aunt had always shared with us, like, you know, that words were powerful, which is so true, but I really never knew what she meant, and we never got the real information behind that. And sometimes it's really important to know the details. And just words were powerful never really fully resonated with me for a very long time. Why are they powerful? What's the meaning of that? What does that mean? And slowly through the years, you know, you learn that words are vibration, words are energy, words can heal. So many things. Where our thoughts are is sort of like depictive of how our life is or can be. So over time I learned that. But so for me, when I share things, it's really important to kind of say why that is, because we never really did any sort of follow through with her words, just sharing words are powerful. But the words we speak have energy, and we put that out into this universe. And not only that, but over time of learning what we speak, but you can bring forward. And so with that being said, I try to be cautious of the words that I use or the things that I speak, but you know, I am human and make mistakes, but I'm always growing and learning and trying, which is so important to me. So I'm going to take, let's see, I like this one. And as, like I learned that just about how you kind of want to see like how your life is, how things are going. Think about the way you think, the things you're just constantly talking about, what you're watching, what you're viewing. It can really change your state of mind and how you feel. So we want to fill ourselves up with goodness and surround ourselves with goodness and people that we love and enjoy and have fun with, that uplift us, that are happy to see us. So then as I learn that, I learn so easily that throughout the Bible, I mean, we're shown over and over again in so many verses of like what we see, what we speak, all these things, how the meaning, and they have meaning and they have power and everything to them. So we want to be cautious of those things. So I didn't really think I was going to get in and share this type of information with you this evening. It was just something that just keeps unfolding more and more. And of course, it's just so much I already know and believe of that, and how it's amazing how the Lord just always shows us just as we're ready for it, new things and new information, and how it's just right there in front. Well, at least for me, it's always been there right in front of my eyes. And sometimes you don't notice, and sometimes things are revealed to you just as you need them. So I really love that in His Word, He really shows us these things that I have through many, many years already come to believe and to know He says these things, but just to see it so abundant has been really great for me. So I'm marking a few of these down that I had jotted down earlier. So if you're part of my Peach Life group or my Instagram, I'm always talking about or sharing like goodness or joy, or to be happy, or to share with others. I just feel like when you share, to give of yourself is just beyond wonderful, because so many times others aren't willing to share or to give. It's always for something in return. And for me, it's just really important that I can give and share with you guys the things that I love, and hopefully it inspires you or brings you some sort of little joy or happiness. And because I know so many times when people share with me in return, how much that brings and gives to my life. And we just never know how we touch people's lives sometimes, and or what our words might mean that day to somebody else when we think it's so simple. Many times my creating to me has always just been like, as far back as my memories of creating, I've kept a little sort of art journal of just everything from my little tickets to flyers, or a little kid at Disney and keeping all that stuff and putting it all together in a little book. And so it's just sort of always been my thing. So when people see me create or enjoy what I do, for me, it just feels like part of me, something I've always done, whether it's those things or scrapbooking, always some form of creating, writing, documenting. So I know there's been times when, you know, I'm asked to share more or share in my YouTube. And sometimes I feel like, what would you guys like to see? These are just like what I do. I'm not sure if it's what you want to see or not, but I found that just what I enjoy, if I share, it will be sent to the right people to be able to enjoy as well. You know, there's something for everyone all over, and that inspires them to create. So the people that will maybe be drawn to my style or my things, I just sort of share and put out there for those to be able to find that. So with that said, my goal this year is to make sure I share it at least once a week with my YouTube. I share every day on my Instagram, and I share every day in my Peach Life group. But really it is sometimes just the simple things that are so nice. So I want to jot down maybe this one. I'm going to tilt that a little. My cousin had sent me like a really lovely verse in scripture today, and so I wrote that down over here. And it's interesting how I kind of had left this and didn't move on and finish it, and how what she sent me today once again goes back to this. I'll read that to you really quick. It's Matthew 12:33 through 37. I'm going to read just to you like the really key, that's all key. But for the thing that I really wanted to share was, it says, for the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. A good man brings good things out of the good stored. I'm having trouble with my own writing. Let's try that again. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him. And an evil man brings the evil things out of the evil stored up in him. So that goes into the whole thing, but that is not the part I wanted to read to you guys. But maybe it was just meant for me to read that. It says, make a tree good and its fruit will be good, or make a tree bad and its fruits will be bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruits. I just love that. And then it adds at the end, for by your words you will be acquitted, and for by your words you will be condemned. So it just really goes back to what we say, what we speak, what we put out there into the universe is powerful. And we need to make sure that we're speaking words of love. I always say to myself, I always say not just to myself, but in general, you know, I'm Italian and Mexican, and I feel like I really lean on that little excuse of like my little quick fiery part of my personality on those things, or my Italian side. And I really need to not do that, not have those as an excuse or a crutch. And just sort of focus on that to make sure that I am talking or speaking of love and positive and just really goodness into the universe. I say the universe and not, you know, to anyone, the world. It's not like universe that I'm saying it like hocus pocusy. All right, that might, if you guys hear that, that might, it's my little Joshi in the background. And then I want to add these to here. I kind of moved them over. I used to have like lots of little cups and mugs. I'm just trying to condense items and bring them in together. So that I can kind of just grab this, and then if I want to take something with me, I can just sort of grab those, toss them in like a little zip pouch for whatever it is that I need. Okay. So these happen to be a couple of scriptures. There's so many more about our words and what we consume. So I figured a little pusheen was very fitting, eating away there, because it really brings my little message home for me. You know, this wasn't even going to be part of the story, so I really am just broadening out and sharing with you guys today. But it's a little cat, so I always say I'm going to share our little story of Thomas with you guys. And I hadn't, but Thomas O'Malley, our cat who appears in the videos a lot, he's such a little sweetheart. But he just showed up and appeared one day to us. But my son, you know, I have a cat tower here in my craft space, and it has 3 beds on it, like 3 little levels. And he used to always say, we need one more cat. We have 2, Mousy, which is Pixie Marie, and Aunt Tammy, which is the black kitty, Joshi's. And so Mousy's like the little tabby, and the gray. And so I would tell him, we don't need a kitty, and he would say, yes, we need one more kitty here, Mom, like a Garfield kitty, a big fat orange cat. And he would just always say this. I mean, for like a year, it was so much so that I was like, okay, why do you keep saying this? We don't need another cat. And he's like, oh, I just feel like we needed one more cat, like a Garfield cat, he just kept saying. An orange, like an orange cat. We have, you know, we've had a Siamese, my Siamese that was about 15 when she passed away, and just different cats, but we hadn't had an orange one. And I was like, well, don't let Dad hear you saying this, we have a cat. But he would say, oh, I want him right here in this spot. And he would just be so cute with the girls laying in there. And I mean, he was just so specific of what he wanted and just kept putting that into the universe. And lo and behold, one day, a little kitty shows up at my back scrapbook room door, and it's this little orange kitty. And I just thought, unbelievable. No one is going to believe this story because, one, I'm just like a little cat lover, and everyone's going to think like, oh, I totally brought Thomas home or somebody gave him to me. But that was not the case at all. And this little guy was so little, and he was so terrified and wild, and it took like 3 months of like feeding him, taking him toys outside, playing with him, till we became friends. But I think for even a month prior to that, I feel like he slept in the engine of my car. And so I wasn't driving my car. I would take my husband's if I needed, or my golf cart, because we're in Peachtree City, Georgia, and it's a golf cart community. So I'd take my golf cart. And then months of being his friend, and then he got big enough, and one day I just kind of grabbed him. I had tried many, many times, but one day I just sort of grabbed him, and he acted like, leave me alone, let me get away. And I just like loved on him, and I was like, this is love. And he just was purring so loud, like he loved it, but was terrified at the same time. So, then he would only let me pet him when he was eating. So then when he became a little old enough, we needed to get him fixed. So we did. And then it was starting to get cold out. So he got to sleep in the garage at night, and we got him a little heater. And then one night he got chased up this tree by these cats, and it was so sad. He was so much bigger than them, but he was so terrified. And my husband helped him get down, and then he just said, you know, now that he's fixed, and I'll let him just come in and live with us. And I thought that was really sweet, especially since he's allergic. Well, not allergic, but has asthma, like a little breathing. And we already have 2 cats, but I work on really keeping everything clean, but you know, it's still possible. So it was really sweet that he brought him in, and Thomas is such a big part of our family now, and he's so sweet, and he's just so loved by so many. It's unbelievable that I have all the cats, but it's interesting how people are so much more just drawn to Thomas. So with that said, I always say, like I've said, words are so powerful, and we have to be careful what we're saying, what we're claiming with these words, what we're putting out there into the world. And I always tell Joshua, boy, you just really brought him here. That is what you want. You set your goal, you put that into the universe, you believed it, and he made it so. So prior to that, through my life, I have known, like, to be careful what I speak, or to be careful what I focus my time and energy on. But it's just becoming more and more transparent to me, especially through these last few years. So, so that's the story. So I just believe if you want something, if you believe it in your heart, which is what it says in one of these Bible verses about in your heart, believing something that to that depth, to make that it makes it possible. So I just know there's been many things that are more personal that with Joshua that he has felt or done, and it comes about for him. He just brings it into fruition. And the things that we speak are just, it's just incredible what can be. So my point to all of that is that's how we got Thomas. So we have to be really cautious of what we focus on, what we're thinking about, because it creates our life, which is what I believe. So I share all that with you guys. I have my little pusheen, which works out perfect. And I think I'm gonna jot down that with this, I shared the story of Thomas. I shared a lot with you guys today. I typically reserve that really for family and close friends. And I really just opened up and shared sort of my thoughts and feelings on this with you guys today. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and flip through and share with you guys my week. So I shared in a video before, this was my turning the page to a new year. It keeps evolving from where it was a couple weeks ago. And I will jot down some of those key things that I want to make sure in this year are fulfilled. And then I'll go through those relatively quickly. This one, all these little bits of washi were because I was putting my new, for the new year, some washi I'd like to put in here, and I switched them out a little bit with the holiday. So as I trimmed them all the little pieces off, of course I could not let those go to waste. So I tapped all those little pieces into in here. My Nintendo games, my book list. I need to bring my book list over, but I need to take off some, and I have new ones on little snips of paper all over. And my phone. My teas that I love, I'm still adding to those. Websites where I get some of my like little specialty Japanese teas and things, which I have a few more little shops that I can add to that and share with you guys in my Peach Life group. Some more little things here. This is my garden, and this is the front piece here is the new little layout I'm gonna do for my garden. Right now the pieces kind of are differently, and I want to bring those in and sort of make it like a little more enclosed as everything grows, and make it more like a little enchanted garden is my hope. But I love how all my other stuff is looking. So I sketched that out. And that's why right here, which I had shared prior. So January 10th and 11th is my garden layout. So as this starts to get full through the year and I want to remember where something is, at quick glance, those main things that are outside of just journaling or drawing or stuff like that, I can pick out real quick and track where that's at. These are the new little stamps that I had gotten. Let's see, do I have those right here to show you guys? Do I have those conveniently? I do. So these are some little stamps. I have no recall of the shop I got it, but it's a specialty little shop in Japan. That's typically where I get any of this type of brand or style from. There's a little info there. You can always try that. Okay, so it was cute to use the little bookshelves with Belle. Oh, here's the little scripture that I was telling you I had found. I didn't realize that I had written it down in here. It's Romans 10:10. For with the heart one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. So beautiful. And these were sort of like my thought of like how the Lord sends us all these little special notes and little bits of love and goodness to us all throughout his word. And then some little thing I wrote about gratitude. I finished up that little page here with you guys today. I'm sure it will have some more little goodness added to that as I'm inspired. And then this morning, so this will fall to next week's that I share. Finish this up here. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me, and would love to know your thoughts. You can comment below. We have a group. I have a group over on Facebook. It's a Peach Life group. I tend to share more things, or right now my Etsy shop is not open. A lot of times I'll just put some new items right into my group. And also I share sometimes more pictures, more events. Like right now we have a Valentine card swap going on, and today is the last day to join that. And we just do other little fun things and can share more. But again, I do always post over on my Instagram. I just tend to share a little bit more things with my group. So thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm gonna finish that off. There we go. So thanks so much. I hope you take a little time and enjoy and have a little creative week.